The question is, where do psychic powers come from, and is the information received from psychics reliable? Well, psychic powers come from a band of the continuum we call the psychic realm. Now, there is a specific plane, a subplane of the psychic realm, that we refer to as the plane of psychic powers. And there are certain powers that are gained there, such as the ability to create and destroy things in the higher mind, basically to create and destroy what we call thought forms. It also gives the ability to know what is in the unconscious mind of other people. It gives you the ability to read what we call the aura, which is the energy field, the field of thoughts and emotions that surrounds an individual. For some individuals, these powers include gaining a healing gift. For others, it may involve channeling information either from the soul or from other entities. It also involves what we call telepathy, which means the ability to receive intuitive thought. So, as you have telepathy connected with your soul, you're hearing the voice of your soul within. You're hearing the guidance of your soul. And often people will hear the voice and the guidance of their spiritual masters as they go within. And finally, there is the ability of what's called omniscience. And omniscience is the power to know the past, which means to know the past lives of yourself and others. The ability to understand what a person is experiencing in their human present, which is the aura. The ability to understand what are their future incarnations, which is their future. And also to know their nature as it is in eternity, so to be able to understand what is the actual essence of an individual. Now, as a person continues to progress through the psychic realm, there are additional powers which are gained. The power to communicate with different spiritual guides, and as one progresses yet further, there are certain attunements which one is given, the ability to send the light to others, to awaken others, to actually transform some of the subtle vehicles of the psychic realm. Now, the psychic powers are part of spiritual development. Most people who traverse this realm, whose souls travel across this realm, will gain some of these powers. But it's important that before you begin using them, that you learn discernment, that you learn wisdom, when it's appropriate to use these powers, when it's not appropriate to use them. And we often counsel people that generally before you start using psychic powers, it's a good idea to have first taken the first initiation of light, where you begin being overshadowed by the Holy Spirit. And when you are undergoing that stage of your spiritual development, you also have the inner guidance in terms of when it's appropriate to use a power and when it is not. And so in that way, you will generally be rightly guided. Because when people first discover their powers, there's a temptation to want to use them. And sometimes that's not the best idea. If you're interested in a discussion of what these powers are and how they're used and how they're developed, these are discussed in our book, The Psychic Realm, Finding Safe Passage Through the Realms of Illusion.